Many times in life, we find ourselves caught in the trap of comparison. We look at others and ask, why can't I be like them? This comparison often steals our happiness and peace. In today's fast-paced world, with apps like TikTok and Instagram constantly showing us curated highlights of others' lives, this habit of comparison has become more common than ever. But this story is for anyone who feels unsatisfied or believes that others are living a happier life. Let's take a journey together, and along the way, we'll also learn some new words. So listen carefully to this story and stay with us until the end. One day, a crow was flying freely in the sky and landed on a branch of a tree. As he rested, he noticed a swan gliding gracefully in a nearby pond. The swan's bright white feathers sparkled in the sunlight, and some villagers gathered around to admire its beauty. The crow couldn't help but feel a pang of envy. Wanting to get a closer look, he flew towards the swan, but as soon as the villagers saw him, they waved their hands and chased him away. Confused and sad, the crow flew to another branch, but again the villagers drove him away. He felt deeply hurt. He watched as the people marveled at the swan's white feathers, and he began to believe that he wasn't loved because of his black feathers. With a heavy heart, the crow flew deep into the forest, seeking solitude. Perched on a high branch, he wept and said to himself, "If only I had white feathers like the swan, I would be happy too." An old crow, who happened to be passing by, saw the young crow crying and asked, "Why are you so sad, my young friend?" The crow replied, "I hate my black feathers. They look so ugly. No one likes me." The old crow smiled gently and said, "If you could look like any bird, which one would you choose?" Without hesitation, the young crow answered, "I would want to look like the swan. Everyone admires its beauty." The old crow nodded and said, "There is a magical spring deep in the forest. If you bathe in its waters with a pure heart, you can change how you look. But before you go, why don't you ask the swan if it is truly happy?" The crow agreed and flew back to the pond to speak with the swan. He asked, "Dear swan, you must be the happiest bird in the village. Your white feathers are so beautiful, and everyone loves you. Are you happy?" The swan looked down and said, "Thank you for your kind words. My feathers may be beautiful, but I am not truly happy. People keep me as a pet, and I cannot live freely. I don't know if I'll be alive tomorrow, and when I grow old, they may use me for my meat." The crow was shocked. He asked, "Then who do you think is the happiest bird?" The swan replied, "I believe the parrots are the happiest. Their colorful feathers are even more beautiful than my white ones, and people don't use them for food." Grateful for the answer, the crow thanked the swan and flew off to find a parrot. After a long search, the crow found a parrot sitting on a branch. He said, "Dear parrot, your colorful feathers are so lovely. You must be the happiest bird." The parrot sighed deeply and replied, "My feathers may be beautiful, but because of them, people put me in cages. I spend my life locked up, and I'm always scared." The crow was saddened by this response. He asked, "Who do you think is the happiest bird then?" The parrot answered, "I think the peacock is the happiest. People admire its feathers and keep it in a big cage where it can show off its beauty." The crow, now more curious, flew to a zoo to meet the peacock. There, he saw the peacock spreading its magnificent feathers, while many visitors admired it. The crow approached the peacock and said, "Dear peacock, you are so beautiful. Your feathers are amazing. You must be the happiest bird in the world." The peacock looked at the crow and said, "No, my friend, I am not happy. People take my feathers and sell them. It's painful when they pluck them, and it keeps happening over and over again. I wish I could live freely like you. No one bothers you, and you can go wherever you want." The crow was taken aback. He had never considered his own freedom as something so precious. He thanked the peacock and flew back to the old crow. "I've learned something," the young crow said. "I don't want to be anyone else. I am happy just being me, a crow." This story teaches us a powerful lesson. Everyone has their struggles, and comparing ourselves to others only robs us of our happiness. We should be grateful for the blessings we have, for the unique qualities that make us who we are. Remember, you are one of a kind, and no one can be a better version of you than you. Embrace who you are and celebrate your uniqueness. If this story helped you learn something new or find a fresh perspective, don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next story, where we continue to grow and learn together.